First of all, apologies for my hair. I've just been out in the rain and it is dried, frizzy. I hope it doesn't offend anyone. Let's talk about exams. I'm not usually the best person to come to for advice on studying and revising for exams because I don't have a set way of doing it and I don't know how common that is. But here are just some general study tips. Some I use, some I don't, but I'll tell you about it, and I hope it helps in some way. If you can just take one thing from this video and do it, then I'll be happy. Firstly, getting started. I find it really hard to start things. Videos are a good example of this. I film something and it just stays in a little disc or a little memory stick for ages and ages before I can bother to edit. And it's similar with revision. I don't know about you, but after I lecture, I make notes and just leave it at the back of a notebook or my bag for ages and ages and never look at it again. And I can't start revision until I've compiled all of these notes that I've just left in places here and there and put them together and can start sort of sorting through it and everything. So I think the first thing to do is to get things sorted so you can start it. And that can mean taking all your notes from the past year or for whatever subject you're doing and putting it into one folder and then organising it all and just having it ready. You don't even have to look at it or read it. Just make sure you have everything you need to do the revision that you need to do. Getting prepared also means getting the stationery that you need, which can also be the fun part because I love stationery and I love stationery shops. I'm so happy when I go into them. Buy revision cards, pens, highlighters, anything that will just help you. Making your notes or images look pretty and lovely, and taking the time to actually make it look pretty and lovely may also ingrain it into your brain. Secondly, study environment. Another thing you have to think about before you can get started is the place you are doing your studying or revision or whatever it is. Personally, I like to play music. Not that kind of music, this kind of music. I guess it just helps me to relax. Weirdly enough, if it's really quiet, I find it quite distracting and it's just too quiet and I just become really aware of my surroundings. And have a clear working space as well. I need to have loads of space to just spread out everything that I need to look at so I can look at it at once. I guess that leads me on to number 3, organisation. I am not the most organised person in the world and I don't make revision timetables, but lots of people find it helpful to do a revision timetable, and an important thing to remember about this is to not be too ambitious and be realistic. Number 4, revision food. During these stressful periods it's important to eat well and be healthy because a healthy body is a healthy mind. It sounds really cliche, but you'll feel better for it, I'm sure. Study food can range from this, healthy fruits, to this, not so healthy fruits. I like to work on a kind of reward system where if I finish a past paper, I'll have a piece of chocolate, but before revision I'll have a piece of fruit because it helps freshen me up to learn about the facts that I should have learned earlier this year. So now that we've got everything ready for revision, the next thing is to obviously do it. It's quite a serious one really. Number 5, revision. This is where you really need to knuckle down and do it. It may seem hard and it may seem boring, but it'll be worth it in the end. Literally just go for it. Work solidly for 2 hours, say that I'm going to do this subject or finish this past paper at a certain time and do it, and then you feel good about it. Set yourself realistic targets and when you achieve them, it will motivate you to do more, hopefully. Now, I am setting a bad example by procrastinating and doing a video instead of actually revising myself. But I've taken a day off today because I've revised fairly hard all week and it's Easter Sunday, so don't work on the Sabbath. Play Sims instead. Okay, goodbye.